Mr. Krabs, since you took power and declared war on Japsterdam. There have been 3 rebellions started.
How did this happen?
We don't know. They were most likely people who didn't like war or, oh no, Mr. Krabs, get down.
Alright, I call all you here today for the plan to take out the country that was called Japsterdam. But wait, where's Krabs? We can't have a meeting without him.
Ha ha ha, hello Belgians.
No!
Mama, what are you doing here?
Well, plan changed now, I'm in charge now. And I have Meester Krabs. So, if you want him back with peace, you will put down your weapons and recognize my claim that I am the true leader of the Netherlands and help me fight the Europeans. Oh, and each month that you don't sign it, people who aren't Dutch will be killed. Starting February.
If you don't know what happened, here's what happened. Mr. Krabs got arrested. It's going to be like the Maduro treatment. The Dutch started the rebellions. Yeah, they were the ones who funded the rebellions. They funded the Mexicans, they funded the Byzantines, and they funded the Planktanian rebels who want to join Planktania. But Planktania is helping out this one, which might cause complicated relations. Do they help their own people who wants to join them? Or do they join with the Crabtania, Crablandia, who was an ally for 300 years? And it was an old rivalry, to bring back old rivalries. We don't know. But anyways, welcome back everyone to the channel. Today, we're going to play Doodle Empires once again. Today, we're going to watch. Today, we're going to see what happens in last time. Yeah, we see Mama took power again and created this new state, which is a puppet of Crablandia, which is called Grand Duchy of Crablandia. But we're calling it Crablandia puppet so far. So yeah. The war has not just only begun, but it is starting to ramp up. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen next. We're going to play until they turn 750. So yeah, things are going to get a lot crazy. So yeah, let's go. Ethiopia gets a new nation. And we finally have something going on. We got the return of a nation that would be very, very important. And it's the blue team. Yeah, we managed to bring the blue team back. And they managed to form the capital right here. Arabia has managed to return back to its power. It is formed right here. And also, it formed mostly in the Arab region now, where there's a bunch of places right here. And it is where we got Arabia now. Mesopotamia, it'll be very different, but let's see if they'll appear once again. Now, Chilean loyalist. We get a large expand. Now, this next expand, yeah, they decided to finish the job and to get all of Chile, of course. And now, we managed to kick the Falklands out of Chile. So yeah, now they're big now, and they're also going to try to target more of Argentina. But they took a city and then managed to almost cross Fort Messi, which didn't go well yet. So let's see. Now Beastland, what's going to happen to them? They started the Asia conflict. Good. Now Venezuela. They get a medium expand. and they're going to try to take out the Amazonians. They head and cross through the Amazon. You have barn territory from Morchico and cross through the rivers right here, and then head out to the Amazons, and then just conquer more of it, conquer a little bit of Guyana. Yeah. So they surrender. Well, they don't surrender, but they just stop right here and sign peace. Now, for the next one, Manchuria. They're going to adopt a religion. But which religion is it, since there's no religion to adopt? They could do Kravism, but they're not. And also, this isn't really Kravism, because they were Kravism, but there's no Kravism left. So yeah, they could adopt the old religion of Christism, but would it be necessary, or would they just try to adapt a new religion? So yeah, we need to figure it out. Because to me, I think they come from wavism. So yeah, I think it's wavism. Some are crabs, some are wavism. So either no religion or wavism. So yeah, their first religion in Asia, well, East Asia, is wavism. So that is their new religion. Or faith, you can call it. So yeah, Ravage is back. It's small, yeah, but they're going to get a new origin to try to divert themselves from the rest of the world. So yeah, yeah. Now the United People's Union gets a new leader, already better than whatever they had going with the United Union. Now the next one, the United Russian Republic. They're going to expand. Yeah, and the expansion is on Kiev right now because they're trying to take out a bunch of people. They took some of the land right here, and now it's going to go either way. And they have wiped out all of Kiev Rus. So yeah, now Russia is already looking like more Russia right now. They got this right here and all that. Now the Guyana forces, they get a small expand. They responded to Venezuela's invasion and was like, yeah, we're taking this land back. You don't deserve it. You're unworthy of Mjolnir. Now, be gone, boy. Now, this managed to get Venezuela a little upset. And will they respond? We'll see in the coming years. So yeah, Venezuela, it got baked. Now we got Ethiopia again. They get a large expand. So yeah, they're all running out of room, but they're going to just get this right here. Going to start conquering more of Yemen, and then meet the border of Egypt. So they're like, what country should we take over? First of all, they're going to try to take more of this river civilization, and this became a success. They took some of the rivers right here that they don't care about. They also took this river right here, from right here. So yeah, they're kind of done. But now, let's get going. They crossed through this river right here and started to take out. And they now have a target, which is Egypt. Why Egypt? Of course. They've managed to adopt their religion, right? Well, they just believe that there is power in the canal that they think could be necessary in the future. So some of them, like Vietnam, don't know where it is, but yeah, they know where it is, but they're like, why should we offer it? And also, it's because they're fish sales. if they have more of the canal, then they could believe to create a more like Arab empire. But now it's going to be like that for now. But anyways, they start invading more of Egypt, and then it just started going downhill from here. Yeah, we see Egypt starting to get more and more destroyed. Yeah, let's see if Egypt can get revenge here. Now, we're back at Russia. They get medium expand. Yeah, can't stop killing your neighbors, can you? Yeah, they went to Crimea, they crossed the river. Yeah, and Kiev Rus was reduced to Moldova. So yeah, this is all what's left right now. They got a lot, but Russia was like, yeah. Their leader was like, some weird fish was like, move, let's move right in Asia. There's a lot of land up here, so we can just take more stuff than just taking out countries and all type of stuff. Now, the Russians were like, okay, we could just cross until we meet like a mountain, or let's say a lake. So yeah, they're just going to be like that. Now we move to Quebec, and they're going to make a mission. They're going to do a mission. They're going to take out Jimmy Towers, but they're going to try to invade, become the new force that the crusty and with Crablandia failing to do, which is conquering right here. So yeah, they go down south. So yeah, that happens. Anyways, next row, we got Grand Amsterdam. They managed to make a move, which is to invade in order to get what they need. They're going to take out. Yeah, they're managed to take out more of this, and also take over some islands. They took over making this more reduced than ever. And also, they started bombarding a bunch of ships in Europe. Well, they planned a fleet, which is just to get every American country to go against Europe. And they managed to do it like this. They made these Scottish areas right here and meet up right here to try to cut off Quebec. So yeah, the war is starting to rise up. Now, Grand Duchy of Crablandia happens, and they're going to do something with it too. They took over the crusty fort and then just move up right here. Don't cross the Jimmy Tower, but they went up here. They crossed through these rivers right here and started moving up to where Minnesota is. They also started shooting a bunch of plankton rebels, which upset them greatly for understandable reasons. They head to Minnesota and managed to make another landing right down south to meet up with the other Crablandians, and they managed to almost kick them out of Minnesota, or right here. So yeah, we got Egypt again. They're going to adopt a religion. So yeah, seeing the skies from, do they change religions? And I think the answer is no. I think that's where they start. So yeah, they do not leave their own religion behind. They're the main character of that religion. So yeah, they do not leave. Now the Bluedian Islands get a small expand. They buy more of the Mushroom Kingdom Islands from Peach, of course, and then they keep going and buy more of these islands from from Peach, of course. And now let's see who's next. Brazil. They built a castle. seeing the tension happening in Argentina, they create another fortnight castle. There is Fort of Knights 1, there's Fort of Knights. I think that was Fort of Knights and Fort of Knights 5. And that, I think it's Fort of Knights 3 for this one. So yes, we're going to get Fort of Knights 6 before GTA 6. Okay, now, Fort of Knights 3. There we go. Now we reach yep. Fort of Knights 3, 2. Yep. Yeah, this didn't work. Alright, now, next up. The Indo Islands. What's going to happen to them? They get a medium expand. Yeah, they discovered south of India. They crossed through right here. And now we see India has now been discovered. They stop at the rivers and then manage to cross more rivers right here, which doesn't feel like it should make sense, but they think this could be an ocean, but we do not know if they really think it's an ocean. So yeah, more of India is finally discovered, and now this is what is now India. Now they are calling themselves the Indian Fed. India. And India has now become, not immediately, but in the coming years, it could become the first strong power that is not in America. Yeah, there is some strong powers in Europe too, but it could be the first strong one in Asia. Or Japan could be one. Vietnam, well, other than Japan, but and also Egypt, but Egypt is more Africa, and then the Blue Nation. Yeah, both these nations are also pretty much good friends. So they trade and they also have fun trying to cross through these borders and cross through the rivers. Now, next up, New Nation, Bludia. What's good? Yeah, we know. I should have expected that coming. Now, I have to pay the price. Iceland, goodbye. Goodbye, Iceland. Now, this becomes a new power right here. This meet Iceland. Now, we head out to a new state, Ethiopia. They get a large expand. Great. But instead of targeting, alright, well, we're going to see the continuation of the conflict. They reach Jerusalem, yeah, and they just stopped there. They reach more of what is Africa, but then they just were like, alright, we cannot do this anymore. Let's just make peace for now, and then just with this nation, of course. So yeah, Ethiopia is now going to stop here, most likely, but not. Now, the next one, the European Union. They get a large expand, and taking advantage of Egypt's weakness and also the war right here, they're going to take more of Egypt right here, and then they just were like, yeah, we got to make sure this becomes safe. Yeah, they took more of Mesopotamia right here, and then just almost take Constantinople, but not really. They took Cyprus, and then just stop right here. They don't reach Alexander, but at this point, this looks like a Roman Empire. This looks like a Roman Empire. But next up, the Planktanian rebels. They get a medium expand. Yeah, you remember Minnesota? Yeah, they took it back. Yeah, they are now going to try to get reunification, either nicely or mean. And then they just decided to nearly take all of this land, take Chum Tower, and then just, well, you know, they're going to lead. Well, they're going to take now Louisiana, making Planktania no longer landlocked, in a way, but no. They also took some land from Texas, right here, from the Byzantines, but Cravatines, right here. I keep forgetting the name, but it's Cravatines, just know that. And they're also going to try to gain Planktopia too, but let's see if that becomes reality or a dream. But now they gain Planktopia, and they could be now want a reunification with. They either would want a unification with Planktania Empire, which we'll talk about that later. But now, this is now becoming more diverse. Now, let's head to Japan. Medium expand. Now, they want. Where do the Japanese to expand? Of course, right here. We cross through this river, right here, and then manage to cross through here. And now, this is what Japan looks like now. Then, we head to Cuba. And they managed to start the Asia conflict again. Now, Guiana forces, large expand. Now, they're going to get revenge on Cuba for, of course, trying to take them down. So yeah, Cuba is going to get taken down very, very easily and very, very quick. So yeah, they get annexed. And now they're going to head to, now we're going to head to Ethiopia again. Now we get a medium expand. So yeah, they're going to do some conquest, more conquest right here. They took Van City, they took some Madagascar islands. Yeah, more of them right here. And then just start to go across to their true Tanzania, where it matches the borders surprisingly enough, but manages to stop here, where Tanzania is. Now we get to the Philipp Republic, and then they have a new leader who's a hill dweller. So yeah, California is next, and they get a split again. They can't handle all the stuff that's happening right now, can't they? But anyways, we get a Vancouver problem. Well, the BC Republic. Yeah, it's another republic, and it was based off a scrap system from California, where they just tried to become more democratic instead of having like an emperor in charge to become reliant on their democracy. So yeah, they relied on this right here. They got some more rivers right here, and now they almost reached the city. So yeah, the BC Republic, or British Columbia Republic, now gains all these Canadian provinces. So yeah, let's now head out with it. And the Planktanian rebels now. They're going to avert their origin to become more like them. So yeah, they're already now they're more nationalistic. Now they get a large expand. They become more like the the Byzantines, they reached down here and then managed to conquer some more land where they should have. Yeah, this guy's a tundra walker, but in order for Mu to get tundra, yeah, this is why they're not expanding greatly, but we're getting a bunch of expands, so yeah. Now we reach the Falkland Kingdom, where they get a large expand. Yeah, taking advantage of that one war, they took back, yeah, you remember this, right? They took back their South American coast, right here. But could they keep it for long, is the only question that we got to answer. So yeah, there it is. They lost South Africa again by the Falklands. And Beastland is back. And they decided, yeah, we need to take them down. So yeah, they managed to land right here. And decided, yeah, we need to take them down. They worked with California to help stop this invasion. They reached the Jimmy Towers, captured New York, and they keep crossing those borders right here. They managed to get here, go more to the south, and then just start conquering more lands. And managed to hold a good chunk. They now stalemate the war against the Dutch, of course, right here. Now that they have these two states working against this. And even kind of is now let's talk about something. Are the Plantagenet rebels working with the Dutch? Well, this Dutch, of course, not this one right here. This is a friendly one, which is the fake. Well, to Mama is the fake Dutch, but to this one, they recognize this as Amsterdam now, which managed to create this. Yeah, they technically helped out the Dutch, so would they work with the Dutch to stop their expansionist neighbors? And I'll have to say yes, because now I think the Plantagenet rebels would also want to take out this one right here to unite its people. So yeah, we now have two Plantagenets. Technically a South Plantagenet and a North Plantagenet. But the difference between them is that they are now both created. Yeah, one is a kingdom, one is a people state. Now we got this going on now. And now we head to Japan. They get a large expand. So yeah, they start moving down south and then start taking over some lands right here. And then it just keeps going down to these rivers, of course, right here, and managed to conquer more of these lands right here. And then started to manage to get a little closer to Manchuria, which they would want to make sure that they are pretty safe and calm, unlike other neighbors like right here. Now we get to Brazil. Now we got Brazil split in two. Again. But now this time, it's more like a South Amazon. Should they be South or North? Amazonia returns back. And this time, it would return back in a new form right here. Amazonia is going to become right here the Amazonian Federation. Yeah, we got the Amazonian Federation. It's now going to be formed across all the north and then start to conquer more of these lands with ease. So yeah, they get this city right here. They start conquering more of these lands right here. And then they just started. Yeah, Brazil is kind of getting smaller and smaller each step the way. Yeah, they managed to get all this land right here. Does Brazil accept it? Yes, yes they do. Except for right here. They want, yeah, this Amazonian Federation schools is to try to expand across the whole jungle. Even taking some right here, so, which not many succeeded at. but we'll see. The Mika Federation. What's now? Yeah, they're going to try and take back their city right here. So yeah, after they saw what the Falkland Islands was doing, they decided, yeah, you're not allowed on this place. So yeah, you're kicked out. Now Iceland. Iceland returns. They get a leader. New leader. Vladis He's peaceful, a hill dweller. And then we got Mongolia. They split. Alright, now the split will be like this. Alright, they're going to split into a different kingdom. One of them was blue, and one of them was like a limeish green. We'll call this North Mongolia. Or North Mongolia. Or we could name it after a king right here, which we'll find out soon. Yeah, it took over all this region right here, and then managed to cross through these rivers, and these are managed to become more through the rivers right here. But luckily, one of them they stayed in is luckily there. Now we get to the next one, Grand Duchy of America. Yeah, they split in two. Yeah, so yeah, Mama discovered that there's been some secret plans under the corner, which they want to split in two. And they want to call it South Crablandia, which now their goal is to destroy it entirely. Their plan was to make it into a puppet. Now they want to completely destroy it. Make sure it never rises to try to take them down. So yeah, they decided to put it down south right here, where they can just stay like that. So yeah, Crablandia is starting to look more crumbled and crumbled. Yet very separate, and then thanks to the Dutch, it will probably fall easily. And made it Tustin Van. So yeah. Argentina is next. So yeah, they get a small expand. It's a Fort Messi, and then just stop. Somehow it keeps going slow. Next up is the blue team. They're going to found a religion, and it's going to be called, we're going to call it Mesoism. That is going to be the religion's name. It will be founded between a bunch of religions, and it will be like this right here. Mesoism is managed to be formed under the blue team. Now we head to the next one. Argentina again. They get a large expand. They managed to successfully conquer all of this right here, and then took some little of Brazil to take advantage of their split, of course. But now we reach Argentina again, and they managed to get another expand again. So yeah, they took advantage of this right here, and then they just left, right? Yep. Manchuria is back, and they're going to adopt a religion. They're going to manage to adopt Wavism. They should believe they should. This looks familiar. This looks too familiar. Now, they managed to get here. And then, this is now their new religion. Do they keep Wavism? Yes, they would. They now managed to adopt Wavism, and then the Philip Republic's turn. They're going to unite with someone. And then, they're like last time, there's no one to unite with. Philip Republic, if you want, go leave, Philip. You're not going to get anyone's help. Now, Manchuria gets a new leader. Now, Egypt is back. What do? Large expand. Do they go south? Which they managed to make a new plan. Their plan is to go to Manchuria. They took over some of the stuff right here, and they managed to fight back right here, taking more of their original land back. They do this, and then Alexander just stops. Now we head to Iceland, where they're just going to adopt a religion. So yeah, they're just like, yeah, we need a new religion. Let's make it redism or Christism. So yeah, Christism kind of dominates Europe right now. And a little bit of right here, but yeah, we don't talk about that. Now we head to Brazil, where they draw a card and expand. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you don't deserve it. And they managed to gain 4 of knights back and stop them right here, shrinking them. Now we head to the Mushroom Kingdom. And oh no, yeah, they lost battle. Yeah, once was united, is now becoming shrivered to pieces. Yeah, now they managed a new union gets formed back. And it's kind of a return. The Toad Kingdom, or the Toad's Union, of course. We're going to call them the Toad's Union. The Toads were like, yeah, based on everything that's going on, we should leave right now, since everything's going to chaos, and we need to leave now. So yeah, everything's going bad for, of course, yeah, everyone. Even for people that are neutral, it's going bad, real bad. Yeah, even for me, my country's gone. Yeah, maybe gone, but not forgotten. Never forgotten. So yeah, they managed to gain all this lands right here, and then reach through here. So yeah, now they just target this coast right here, and now we reach Mexico. Oh yeah, the small dot right here. Yeah, they're going to unite, and then they're easily don't know what something's going on. Is it the art? Is it the art? Is it the art? I think that's good. Anyways, yeah. Oh, what is this game? This is Doodle Empires. This is Doodle Empires. And then make Serbia, make the Confederate States. Let me tell you, Serbia, we already have Serbia. Serbia was here, but due to lower populations, we annexed it. And we try to get few things to split in half, but this thing has claw arm. I hate this union. Well, I don't hate it since it kind of looks like a Roman Empire, but still though, it's kind of ruined it. More diversity in Europe in a way. So yeah, it kind of ruined it for me. And the Confederate States, yeah, in a way, we did now just created it, technically, but it's not the United States Confederates, but it's more like, yeah, how do we make it put in this way? It's more like a crusty confederation, in a way. So yeah, let's just move on now for that one. And also, this game is Doodle Empires for Phil G4G. Or I could just jokingly say, it was the GTA 6 demo. That'll be funny though. Anyways, next up. Oh yeah, the Union. Let's get back to the Union. Now, the union is going to be formed between Mexico, California. It will be formed back to Mexico. And then they have managed to return back. Indianism is now popular again. Now, let's head back to the Mushroom Kingdom. Things cannot. Yeah, it is getting worse somehow. One of the biggest kingdoms right here back then is now a shell of its former self. Now, what split are we doing now? I think we got one right here. And I think there's too many blues. So let's make a unique one. Let's make an orange one, like here, or a brown one. Let's call this one the East Peach Islands. Or the West Peach Islands. Yeah, that's going to be the name for it. The West Peach Islands is now been formed. So yeah, now we got this going on. And now we got a whole federation going on. Now they got this island right here and managed. Yeah, this is the West Peach Islands, and this is the Mushroom Kingdom is going chaotically. Now, hopefully it goes better. And now we head to Guyana, and they get a large expand. They started targeting Amazonian lands, and then start to grab the Fort of Knights to try to secure their border from the Amazonian, since there is potential of Amazonian rebels right here. So yeah, let's head out to the BC Republic. They're going to adopt a religion. So already, there's so much Indianism, there's so much neoplanktonism. Well, planktonism isn't really a religion yet, but soon it could be. But wavism's right here. But there's not much they could really adapt to. So yeah, wavism is not on the table yet, but they're going to still stick to Indianism, since in a way it's just lands between here and here. Now we head to the next one, is Mexico again. And they start the age of conflict again. Now we see the Dutch Commonwealth, and they get a new leader. They're like, yeah, we need to take this guy down now. Which kind of divides relations between the Russian Republic and the Dutch Commonwealth. The Europeans were like, alright, who is this? But they were like, yeah, we do not care right now for the Russians. We care about taking out this entity right here. So yeah, we need to wait again. And now we head back to Egypt. And they get a medium expand. This war is starting to get a little more crazier and crazier. Yet Alexander managed to completely take this thing down. Yeah, Suleiman is still taking him down, even if it's small gains. Now we head back to Manchuria. They spread their religion. Wavism is going to be influenced in Japan. They managed to do it there successfully. And now, there's now Wavism across East Asia. Let's see Amazonia Federation's turn. They get a medium expand. They're going to take back the castles right here, and then just leave. That's it. Now the Grand Duchy of they got a new leader, and his name is Julius. Rip Alexander. We need to see what could have happened. Alright, Lord. Now, Alexander was just riding in the Krusty Krab. Then suddenly, when they were trying to head to visit the Krusty Fort, the Ottawans, some huge supporters of the Crab Landians shoot him. So yeah, and they managed to bring Julius to power. Do Julius like the Dutch though, as much as Alexander likes them? And I think the answer is no, which might cause tensions between them more and more. The Philip Republic. They get a large expand. Now we see they are going to march all the way through India right here and manage to discover some lands, go through Indonesia, and then this is starting to become the first discoveries of Indonesia now. Now all 6 continents are discovered. So yeah, Indonesia or Australia, however you put it, they managed to discover them all, like the Avatar. So yeah, there's this right here. And now we head to Raphage. Raphage is back. They get a small expand. And they expand into more of the Peach territory right here. So yeah, Raphage is back, but under new intentions. So yeah, things are going bad. Wait, this is probably the worst episode they have been in yet. Probably. What's good, Callum states. Now, we head to the Philip Republic. Philip is back, and they're going to expand more and more. They're going to conquer more of those mountains right here, and to discover the ancient monks. Well, they did not discover any monks, so just kidding. I was messing with y'all. But they did took some land from Japan just to make the border better. So yeah, they keep going. And then they managed to discover more of India. And then they just stopped. So yeah, half of this is kind of a big empire now. We got it right here. So yeah, let's do this. We got Morto Chico has returned. And they did not. Yeah, Colombia was like, alright, we need it bigger. Alright, Chile. Let's call this one Chile. Now, Chile returns. Well, North Chile, of course. Yeah, we already got the return of Chile, but now we got North Chile. North Chile decides, yeah, we're leaving this place behind. And then we got this whole big nation right here start. Yeah, this is now North Chile right here. And now Morto Chico is kind of falling. It's not fallen off completely yet, but it's starting to show it after a while. Since now we got this could be Bolivia, but let's just call it. Let's call it Bolivia for now. Bolivia, Chile. Since it does have the capital of Chile, Santiago. But now we're just going to wait for a while. Yeah, and this made Peru more crippled. And made them past their prime of conquering like half of South America. Good. Now we get to the Amazonia Federation. They're going to unite with someone. And that someone is Brazil. Well, or at least the Guiana forces. Since they're going to need their strength to take them down. They occupied Rio and they just like, alright. Now Central Canada gets a medium expand. They're like, Karma, you're not going anywhere. We're taking you down. One way or another. So yeah, Karma is starting to die. Yeah, rip Karma. Yeah, Karma is gone. Well, not gone, but Karma is now reduced to the Mushroom City. So yeah, now we got to this land. Now heading down here. Guiana forces are going to do a large expand. they attempted to get these lands right here, and now are starting to try and gain up more and more of South America. So yeah, this is now starting to look a lot like war now. But now, anyways, Mika Federation, they built a castle. They built a castle called Fort South America. Fort South SA1. Yeah, they're calling it after countries now, since we don't know what to do with them, but we'll see one. Now the Falkland Kingdoms. Their response: take a castle. Take a city and take a castle. Alright. Yeah, the Falklands are finally doing something after a while. Yeah, they're like, one of them was like, what the Dong doing? And then they just take out South Africa. Now we return to South Crablandia, and they get a small expand. So yeah, they started to get rewarded pretty great, and then now just took a little Miami back. So not real much, but let's see. Veronica is still there, and then just this is now what's left now. Crablandia is starting to get kind of destroyed. So now they can be called New Crablandia. Why is there a Q right here? New Crablandia is right here. So yeah, there is it right here. Now we head to the Planktanian rebels. They're going to get a large expand, and their goal is to try to take down some more of these cities right here. They're now going to charge at the Chump City, which now is going to lead to kind of a worry for Planktania and its future. Their city is surrounded, and Chum City is now gone. Raft City is also captured on the way. And yeah, Planktania is having kind of a bad day.
Can you let Ricks in the house?
It's alright. Net. Alright. I'm Lip. Yep. Alright. We're going to expand more of Crablandia. And then now we head to more of this. Now we're headed to Toad's Union. Yeah, I was just busy with Family War, well, of course. Now Toad's Union gets a medium expand. They're going to expand into Karma now. They're going to take the rest of it. They retake their old city, which was Mushroom City. If you don't know the lore of Mushroom City, well, the Toad's Union, then you are missing out. This is now back to its original city. Instead of like an igloo or Fort Santa, we got a new city right now. Let's head to please tell me, please. Yes. Thank you. Now. We got something to talk about. What color should we make it? Finally, I did not like it. It originated, but its history is pretty good. It originated in Florida, and it originated in Florida right here, and we had many episodes about it. But then it kept evolving right here into South to Africa, and then it kept going. Now we can't just keep going right here and then just like Central Africa, and then this is now the new nation right here. Oh, who was that? Yeah, that was my mom, of course. Yeah. Could someone give you Robux? Yeah, nah, I'm broke. Nah, I'm broke. Sorry about that. Plus, well, I do have Roblox, but yeah, I'll show you one day what I played. Well, I did just show you what I played back in my last stream, but nah. Alright, now we got Shad. Yep, we got Shad right here. And then we keep going up north. So yeah, this was now, we got Shad right here. Well, not Shad, but more like Central Africa. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, Feudal Dynasty. All roads will lead to Rome. I know. But at least we're not in, like, right here. But let's go. Yeah, because the Feudal Dynasty is probably, like, yeah, they have a higher class. Here it is. Their king is right top. And all their people right here are on the bottom. And they're people like, I don't care. Including the armed force. And their kings are absolutely crazy. So yeah. Now let's head to the next city. We got Raffage. Now we got Kaya, who's a mountaineer. Sorry about that, Kaya, but you're not in Tibet, nor right here. Now let's head to Quebec, where their next mission is to hopefully reliberate back Crablandia, and then they head to a fort right here. Yeah, this is starting to look a little bad for just the Krusty Krab. Now, I'm sorry to all Crablandians, but we got to stay strong, man. Stay strong. Now we got California. Now they managed to largely expand, and they want to make sure they stay right here. They keep to Arizona and managed to keep up going down. Managed to reliberate all of Baja California, and then kept going south right here, and then managed to capture back the river, and then take the little land from Mexico, and managed to just cut them into, yeah, well, not cut them into, but managed to gain this lands back. And now we got this right here. Blue team. We got blue team back. And we don't. Well, we got a new mission. Red team. Welcome back. Well, welcome to the series, of course. Now we're going to make the red team right up here. Taking all of Qatar. And then we just like, there we go. Welcome, red team. Hope you doing good. Now, let's move on to Grand Japstan. They get a medium expand. Yeah, they're taking over back some of their lost lanes that was once lost. Now they're going to try and take them down. And successfully took back some of their capitals right here. And now, let's head to the next one. New Crablandia. Yeah, they're going to get some rebels, of course. Yeah, they're going to get some freedom rebels called the Crablandian Rebels. Yeah, after they saw that, yeah, their nation is kind of, yeah, dead. They managed to form a new republic. They want to some new change going on. Yeah, even extends to right here, as this is now the crab landings. So yeah, now we head to the red team, and they get a small expand. They get expanded to more Qatar and taken back, well, take this city in a way. So yeah, now we got Mesopotamia right here. So yeah, we got Mesopotamia back. Now we got the Byzantines. They get a large expand. So yeah, they're going to try to take some land going more west or more eastern. Yeah, so they meet up right here and discovered Persia. They, well, discovered more of the Caucasus, but it's also good as well. So yeah, we got more right here. They got Iran, and then they just like go right here. Yeah, this looks like the Byzantines are going to become a new Persia, but from the Byzantine tree. They go right here, and then they just decided to take some of their land back right here. So yeah, Constantinople has returned to Doomsday. Now the Mika Federation. It started the age of conflict again. Japan, large expand. So yeah, Japan has gotten through this right here. They managed to take some land right here. So yeah, they got this right here. And then you can just go right here. And then we got China now. We got California next. And we got large expand. So yeah. They got more South Carolina, well, British Columbia. But now they keep going on. And then they just head more north. And then got this right here. There's still some rebels right here. They got still more of those British Columbian republics. So yeah, there is still some left. But yeah, like right here. So yeah, they're still there. So yeah, now they got try to find some more of them. Guerrilla warfare. Now, yep, guerrilla warfare. They do guerrilla warfare and take some of this city back and manage to head out. Egypt, small expand. So yeah, they expanded back down here, and they don't even try to take most of this back. Now North Mongolia, made them expand. They head up here, take some rivers, and meet up right here. So yeah, Mongolia is now there. Now, next up, the United Peoples Union. They made a new nation. Yeah, this new nation was now a reunification between them. It's kind of going to bring back the United Union, but the United Caribbean Union. But hopefully it becomes a lot better than just, of course, just to take some of the, well, hopefully it becomes a lot better than just take out the just last league. They reform themselves as the new United Union. Its goal is to become a new state. Is also joined by Cuba, hopefully. Yeah, Cuba joins it, and hopefully it doesn't become like what happened back then. Now they leave, and now we see the European Union has returned. This time they're going to take some of these lands right here, and now they're going to meet up with the border of Russia, which now they understand why the Dutch don't like. Oh yeah, and also they took Constantinople, so yeah, that's kind of great for them. Also took a little Egypt, and then just stopped there. So yeah, more and more of Christianism is coming to Asia. Now we head to Mordochico, and they're going to adopt a religion, which they decided they're going to betray Latinism and join the Wavism. So yeah, this kind of surprised many Latin nations, as this was their strongest nation, now fallen to Wavism, which kind of upsetted many of the nations that were Latinists, that were about to try to join it, but now they're upset. Like Venezuela was like, well, this nation was like, but we were just joined. We're about to try to join, but now you ruined it. Now you ruined it. And Brazil was like, or Amazonia is like, yeah, you did this to yourself. So yeah, we're going to leave. And then Jill was like, yeah, we already don't like you. Now this is too far. Even though you made us join this religion in the first place, we decided we're going to leave you. Now, we're done. And now, Mexico is like, Union, anyone want to join? And we're like, yes please, I surrender. And then, this country now becomes a new state of Indianism. Yeah, so, yeah, Wavism was starting to die out. And they just did them the favor by just leaving. Now we got this new nation right here. And Grand Amsterdam is going to expand. And they're going to take out more of this nation right here and then just make them. They're going to try to kick Mr. Beast out of the North American continent in its attempt. Now we see the next nation, Grand Amsterdam, is going to try to take out more and more of its things. They started advancing up north and managed to take some of its rivers, which is going to leave Quebec split in two, which now they could believe they could get a government to take out what happened to Krusty Krab. So they want, so yeah, the leader decides, yeah, we're moving to Ottawa, to Autograd, as a way to protect themselves. Well, it's Quebec City, so yeah, since they don't want to go to the Krusty Krab to fight them. So yeah, they stay up north so that they don't get kidnapped like last time. And also, now, they got to stay on the watch. So yeah, now let's head to Amazonia Federation. It gets a large span. Yeah, it takes one of the panhandles and starts advancing more north right here. They got more of the cities right here, and now encircled an army right here, which is probably desperately fighting right now. Egypt gets a new leader, whoever this is, but we'll call them Cleo. We're going to call him Cleo. Yeah, but that's going to be a guy name. But now we enter the Byzantine. Small expand, of course. They're going to try to take back this right here, and then just take more of Persia. So yeah, this goes kind of well. So yeah, they now kind of own this in all this room. Now we get to the United Union. And they have a great expand. Their plan is now to try to take back DC. So yeah, this is now their new plan. They head down south, take this, taking out Florida. Yeah, this was their original plan, was to take out most of South, take out the Dutch. And they did that so successfully. They take out cut of DC, and now they managed to start winning. They took New York, and now the Dutch are kind of scared now. They're like, oh no. Yeah, we got to run. We got to run. Yeah, but the Dutch were like, yeah, we gotta escape. And now the red team is like, yeah, we need to liberate this place now. And now we head to Central Africa, where it gets expansion. Yeah, they took some enclaves right here. They are now bordering these lands right here, where now most of Africa is now at. So yeah, they managed to gain more of these lands right here to expand their empire. But first of all, let's change its color a little bit. Let's change it like a bright red. Or maybe like, not bright red since it'll look familiar to this, but like pink. We'll do pink for now. Now let's head to Montecito. Yeah, they made him expand. So yeah, they were like, yeah, let's take back some of our lands. They tried south, and it kind of goes not very good. They only took little lands. Yeah, which was kind of upset some of the people. So yeah, now that the red team, they get a large expand. They took advantage at some of the lanes that they're getting, and then they start moving up to right here, take some of what this, and then started to take back some for raiding. So yeah, they managed to form Mesopotamia back, but we're going to call them red and blue teams for now. We got the Chilean loyalists. They get a large expand. They took back some Chile. They decided, yo, watch this. And the Chileans are now starting to become a lot better, reputation-wise. As they see now that Montecito has fallen off, they see now Chile as a better candidate to be worthy as a new empire. So Chile becomes Grand Chile. The Chilean Empire has finally risen, and they're called the New Montechicans, as they want to claim title as most powerful, not as only a powerful entity, but to unite the Latin language under them. So yeah, let's get. Now we head to the Eastern Siberian Republic. Meet them expand. Yeah, they believe they still can't find some Siberians that were lost. They're still trying to find the people that were lost. But spoiler alert, is them right here. But they managed to loot. They still try to find them, but no luck. Good. So yeah. Falkland Kingdom. Now, Falkland Kingdom is back. It's going to take a small expand. They take back more South America. And so far, the Falklands have managed to regain their foothold on the continent. Now Beastland is returned. And they did not. They build a castle. This is going to be called Jimmy Island. That's what it's going to be called. Since either Jimmy's going to retire here. Oh man. We can't. Yeah, Jimmy Island is right here. And we'll one day see it. Let's see if Beastland could rise back up again. Or will they lose? Now the Fedor dynasty is back. And they're going to adopt a religion. Their old religion was Golden Coastism, but now they discovered that they were once part of the Floridians. It may have been Crestyism, but now they could either take Cleoism or at least Crestyism. But they do not respect the Cleos, and they have more faith in the Crestyisms than, of course, them are here, so yeah. Now they unite. Not unite, but more. Now we have the Europa Union. They're going to adopt religion. So yeah, and now we see a leader has one of the leaders that were elected now wanted to re-elect was elected as a Cleos or Mesoism. Not Mesoism, but more like Cleoism. So yeah, they just adopted religion. This was now the biggest surprise point in the world. They now changed religion, which was thought to be impossible, but now it's possible. So yeah, Vienna forces, small split. So yeah, Venezuela leaves. So yeah, Venezuela's like, yeah, we're kind of doomed. So yeah, we need to leave now. Because Venezuela was like, yeah, we're doomed and we need to leave. So yeah, this is now Venezuela. So yeah, Latinism is still luckily there. Fedor dynasty split. And we're gonna get something back. We're getting something back. That was once gone. That was the first nation to leave. And we got Congo of the Crabs. Yeah, they have returned back. Now we head to Nigeria, and then we got this nation has returned back to Doomsday. Now we got this right here, and then it managed to gain the river right here. So yeah, they managed to gain the river right here. Now advance a few borders a bit, and then yeah, they knew they messed up. So yeah, there's now splitting back to down after a while. So yeah, they're gone. They're going to be gone. Now we reach the Eastern Siberian Republic, and they started the Age of Conflict. Now Ravage, beat them, expand. Yeah, they're going to try to take back some of their old lands again. This time, they reach the fort and discover Peach's castle, sieging it, and make Peach leave, of course. Hopefully, their leader did not get kidnapped, like in the games. Now, Japan. They're going to unite. And this one's kind of an easy one to unite. It's Manchuria. They now have the same faith, same religion, and now they're finally going to be one union. Now Central Africa. Yeah, this did not take long to get rid of. Now, we got one of the big ones. We got Chad. But except it's more like Sudan Chad, but we'll call it Chad for now. Let's give it the face right here. Chad, but more like Sudan, and then just like this right here. And we got Chad now here in Doomsday. Yeah, I think that was too big, but we'll do something like this, like a rebellion here, in case we can't get it all. Yeah, we can't get it all, but at least we tried. At least we tried. Yep, it's now look ugly, but we'll fix it later. The United Russian Republic gets a large expansion. Yeah, they expanded more westwards, and now have reached right here. Yeah, they're barely getting stuff done. We're going to see it slowly get right here for GT6. Someone firing. Now, the Falkland Kingdom's back. They're starting to win. Thank you. Thank you. They're now going to soon split this in two as soon. Now we see the European Union is back. And they're going to unite with the Dutch. It was inevitable. They have the same parts. And now this ticked my mind off very much. Now they're losing, and now they witness the country gone. Yeah, this kind of crashed her out, and soon this happens. Yeah, on the day of 7/39, she announced, well, some of their people announced, Mai is dead. After that, some of the world has cheered. But now, they need to fix this now. The Krusty Krab is in, well, Crablandia is in civil ruins. Everything is gone. They need to rebuild it. And also, some of the damage has been on this war was catastrophic. It might even rival the Q War's catastrophic. If it killed nearly 15 million people, and which is kind of a lot, excluding the American continent. So let's see the population. There's going to be like 500 million people right now, between 500 million and 1 billion. And out of the most continents that are most populated, America is the most populated of the continent. Since there was a lot of people, about exactly half of them is right here, where it started. So yeah, this is where most of the world started. So yeah, Asia. So this war just killed a lot of people, including a lot of Krabians too. So yeah, which now it's gone. They don't have anything else anymore. Yeah, there's a giant state right here which rivals. There's two Planktanians now, one right here and one right here. We got the Peach Kingdom. Well, the Mushroom Kingdom is becoming more destroyed by the day, and everything is starting to fall apart. Yeah, now it's gone. So yeah, the war might be over, but the damages were so severe that it might be impossible to recover. Especially with this new power right here. That could become the new rivals of this. So yeah, there's two Planktanias, two of them right here. And I am starting to fear this nation. Well, not fear it, but... And also, the yellow one is right here. Is only an island nation now, like the green team. and then we got a United Union back. But at least we got this thing back. But other than that, there is no other way we could do this. So yeah, they're unrecovered. Yeah, this might actually be gone. So yeah, Mama, who replaces Mama? And there's one simple answer. Alexander. Yeah, the same leader who was part of the red team and then just left, joined them. And Grand Amsterdam was renamed to the Q's. Well, not them. No, you don't want it. Was renamed to. Was decided this name is going to be voted on. And Quebec was like, the name should be called New Xander. Named after their name, except without the alley. They managed to create New Xander to get rid of the colonial past of Nama. They managed, but there's one thing that they tried to discover. There was no body here, so yeah, they're not here. So yeah, this is kind of a problem. And what else is a big problem is some of their allies are still alive, so yeah. This might still be finding this one right here and the Byzantines, but I think the Byzantines will be friendly with them. Well, Cravatines, of course. Since there's nothing else where else they can live. So yeah, this could become a big thing in the future. So yeah, this might happen. But also, the Crablandians are in shambles. I got top crab. There's New Crablandia, which was a divided puppet by Mama, and their rebels are now wanting them back. But do they join with them? So yeah, also, Grand Duchy of Crablandia is still gone. And then there's this thing right here. Which, do they just keep or do they just leave it? And since now Crabland is in chaos now. So, they just can't do it now. Now we head to Amazonia Federation. They just unite. And this one will be an easy union. It'll be a union between Argentina and the Amazonia Federation. This will be called, well, it'll be called, this new unit is going to be called the Amazonian, well, Latin America, well, Atlanta, it's going to be called Atlanta, Latania. So that is what it's going to be called right now. And it's going to be led by Augusta, and then it manages to reform the state right here. So yeah, now this has managed to be the new world after the Dutch just ruined it. For at least North America, at least. So yeah, now let's see who's next. Madagascar gets a large expand. Yeah, they managed to just take some of the islands right here, taking advantage of the war, buy some of these islands. And even discovering some lands right here down south. So yeah, they managed to discover more of these lands right here. And now they're going to also buy these lands back, but they didn't know any of it exists. So yeah, they might need to watch. And they also discovered Australia. Some of their leaders were like, yeah, behold, Australia. And also kind of discovered some of these lands down south, which may or may not cause tension with the Indonesians right here. So yeah, this goes pretty south. So yeah, now we reached the next time. We reached Australia right here, and now every continent is like discovered or not. But there's also now Australia right here. Yeah, more of the world's getting discovered. So now we head to Ethiopia. Their next move. They're going to unite with Chad. So yeah, to create a better unit, they decided to unite with Chad, which kind of is weird. Next up, the Peach Islands. They get a small expand. They're like, yeah, we do not recognize you. And then they're like, we don't care. But now they're split in two. So yeah, West Peach Islands, yeah, gone. Now next up, Bolivia, Chile. They split. Yeah. This is now Bolivia. This is Bolivia now. It was formed after this state right here. So yeah, Bolivia is now this state. Now we head to the Guiana forces. Medium expand. Take advantage of the Knights. They kept expanding more up here. And then just go up here. And then we see the Toads here. They expanded, taking these lands right here. And then kept going up. Taking the city. And started. They almost cut the Peach in half. So yeah, kind of. Next up, India. They get a small split. And we know what country is next. And it's Pakistan. Yeah, now that this is out of the way, Pakistan is here. This is now Pakistan. Maybe a little too similar to this. Let's make a Philip Republic a different color. Because this is too similar to this one right here. So yeah, the Philip Republic, you're gonna change a different color. So yeah, this is now the new color. But what you got this one now, we're gonna change this one to like a blue right here. So yeah, they're done. Now we got this. Too many blues right here, so we're going to change it to like a red. Nope, not red. They're going to change it like into a pink. Now we're going to change it like purple. Yeah, purple will be good for them. Now we head to the Falcon Kingdom, and they get small split. For what? Yeah, this next nation decides, yeah, we are tired. Yeah, thank you a lot. But you are still the Falkland Knights. You're still gonna get doomed the most. Yep, they did that. And then just probably take over. They managed to start the revolution. So yeah, they're kind of doomed. So now they're going to have a civil war now. It always ends badly for Falkland. Now, Planktania. What do? Yes, they responded with gunshots, taking the Chum City, going ahead straight to Chum Town, and managed to almost reach Planktopia. They're going to try to take down their old enemy. Well, not their old enemy, but try to save their old enemy. And now we reach the final turn. The blue team. they get a large expand. They started expanding more to the south right here. They reached up here. They managed to conquer some lands. And now we reach here. So yeah, we got this whole new world has now become new. Now let's make the thumbnails for this one. Thumbnail number 1. We got Arabia. But instead of alright, let's do this. Number 1, Arabia, right here. This will be formation of Arabia. Formation number 2. We got formation number 2. We got the Dutch right here. That's thumbnail number 2. Thumbnail number 3 right here. It's gonna be like the Crab Civil War. Well, the Crablandian Civil War. And then we got a new union right here. So yeah. Or we could do it like this. Which now I think we're going to do something like this. It will end an era after a long time. It will begin a new era. Which we're going to call it the age. We're going to call this the age of recession. The age of rage. This is called the age of fear. Sounds like sounds like an edgy name, but we'll take it though. They managed, which this is going to next time we'll see it. We're going to see it like this. We're going to see it like an age of rage. There's also going to be no of these ages, but this will now be called the age of rage. There will be less splits though, and bigger small splits, but not bigger than what is. Unions are also little same, but also new leaders also kind of frequent. Also with build of forts. Religions are going to be more founded because they could believe anything now. Adopt religions are also going to get rise. And then now we got this. Divergent origin is no more. So yeah, splits are less. Small splits are kind of high now as the unions. So yeah, small expands, medium expands, and then large expands are going to get nerfed heavily. So yeah, like this, but the age of fear. Now we got this right here. So although they are kind of common, unions are also kind of a little less common, but it can still happen. But now, let's end it for now, and then just head out. Which this will be called the age of this age is going to be called Age of Fear. Now we head out, and this is going to be the new world we discover now. Hope you guys like this. Hope you enjoyed this stream, and have a good day.